The Grow My Cleaning Company podcast helps owners of cleaning companies just like you to grow your company and yourself so you can make more money and finally get the time and money freedom that probably got you into this business. Discover how to automate and create systems that allow you to grow like crazy without losing control. If you dig the show and want to show some love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. It really helps. Enjoy the show.
All right, what's up, Cleaning Nation? Lindsay here with the fabulous Natalie, and as you can see, we are actually in person. She's real. I can touch her. She's a real person. Amazing. And we're here at our Millionaire Mastermind Next Level event live together. And I grabbed Natalie because I thought, let's have a little interview with you because you've been doing a great job on our social media, especially Instagram. And I wanted to get an idea of how what you're doing with our Instagram, Cleaning Nation out there can incorporate it into their Instagrams, their social media. So yeah, right off the bat, I was going to say one of the biggest problems I see that we were just discussing is that cleaners, we love you, but sometimes your Instagram or your social media is just, here's a house I cleaned, sometimes look at a before picture, sometimes look at an after. So Natalie, I'm gonna let you take it away. Why is this not a great idea?
Well, it is for a website or for a Google search or something like that where somebody's actually looking for information. But when you are on social media like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you are competing with people that are not there for information. They're there for entertainment. So you are competing against dog and cat videos, ridiculous stuff, funny memes, things like that. And so if you're just posting a picture of a dirty house versus clean, that's really not going to stop people's scroll, right? You want to be able to provide them with information that's relevant to them, that speaks to their pain, but also entertains them. So yeah, it's a different way of grabbing their attention. And you really want them to be like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious, I'm going to stop. Or this is really, interesting, or this is really inspiring. And so that's kind of the whole goal, is to grab people's attention with entertainment that is a pattern interrupt, that is marginally more interesting than thousands of cat videos.
Thousands of cat videos. I'm totally a cat video person that'll just stop and or raccoon. Raccoons. In our case, we are our raccoon theme.
I think 50% of our communication is just raccoon
videos. Okay, so one thing I noticed you said, pattern interrupts. Sounds super important. Another thing too is I really think you understand our clients' pain and our main, what do you want to call them, our prospective clients' pain and what they're looking for as cleaning business owners. So I guess my next question is, how could a cleaning business owner incorporate that? How can they find out what the pain is and what's going to be that pattern interrupt for their people? That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And I think that you have to get to the foundation of that, which is, who is your prospective client, right? It's not going to be the same for everybody, whether you're commercial or residential, if you do, VRBOs, or if you do regular house cleans. Each prospective client is going to have a very specific pain. And if you can speak to that pain, that is going to grab their attention better than, look at this dirty house versus this clean house, or this is what we do. And I do see some people on Instagram that are doing a phenomenal job about that. So if that is you, great job. I see it. Big virtual high five to you guys. You want to be able to speak to that. So for example, if you want to break it down to something like an even bigger market, like the mom market, right? There's thousands of mom blogs out there, and there are some that are hey, 7 days of play or whatever with your kids and doing all that stuff for moms that have kids at home that are super active. Getting that activity out it grabs your attention. Then there are moms that are totally burnt out, and there's a meme out there that will say something to the effect of I love my kids, but sometimes I want to eat them. Those types of things will stop that type of person and really, that identifies with their pain. So you need to know what their pain is, and then create something that speaks to it, that immediately grabs their attention, right? So if, I am a mom with, multiple kids at home and I homeschool them, and you create some kind of content or video that is entertaining and engaging, usually funny is more effective for those types of people. And it speaks to your house being completely destroyed by 4 children and being completely overwhelmed with that. And then, having that break from that could be extremely powerful for those types of clients. Same thing with commercial. Like, I know a lot of, small business owners that try to do the cleaning on their own, or they have their employees do it, and it's always kind of, half-assed or, whatever, and it's just not done. There's definitely a specific pain about that. And there's something that's entertaining and funny and engaging about that you can use to stop them in their tracks and then get them to go, yes, these people understand my pain. Like, they get it. They totally get it.
Okay. Yeah, these people totally understand my pain. And I think another thing too is a lot of the good memes and stuff we see, we share them with other people. So if you get something really good that is not only to speak to one person, it can speak to a lot of people too. Like, people want to make it shareable. You brought up another question in my head, which is, how do you know? Let's talk about Instagram specifically, because I think you're just rocking it on Instagram, and that's kind of like a basis for a lot of other platforms like TikTok, Instagram. They're kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you know? Like, how do you test if a post is working? Like, what do you look for?
So there's a couple of different things, and I am by no means like a super Instagram expert, and so disclaimer, not an expert.
But you do great.
Just limited understanding of how it works. And there are algorithms that they change, which is infuriating, but they do, and they pick up on things that people are interested in. So, and it's like an AI program. So it's not like one person that's like, this is interesting, I'm going to have this shared across multiple different accounts. It's really just what is important or what is trending, right? So there are, you'll see a different video that has the same audio 100,000 times or whatever.
Yeah.
And those things tend to get picked up by that algorithm and then shared with more accounts than are on your platform. So for example, I had a video on another account that I do that's kind of a pet project of mine. That's literally just my dog underneath the bed in a lightning storm. And she's hiding under the bed. And I think I did share this with Real My Cleaning Company, but I had shared it just the straight audio on another platform. And it was just her under the bed and then her just peeking out and being terrified of this like lightning storm. And I didn't think much of it. It was super cute, but whatever. And I just posted it. And all of a sudden I started getting like this, like, this vibrating in my phone constantly. Like, it's just ping, 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 ping. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, and it just kept going. And I think I posted it around 10 o'clock at night. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, it had close to 50,000 views.
Wow.
So it had been shared to 50,000 accounts and had like 1,800 comments, and it went viral, which was mind-boggling to me because on that account, I think I only had like 1,100 followers or something like that. So it basically shared, 40 times what I had, because it was a dog video, which apparently is super trending, and there's different, movement and things. So Instagram has these algorithms where they're like, they know they like dogs, they know they like trending reels, they know they like images that move. So if you're just talking to the camera, it's not going to be as dynamic as like something moving or different images.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so they've got kind of like some really weird algorithms that change, but I think the most important thing is to keep it engaging, to keep it interesting, and to find what other people are interested in, because all they want to do is attract more people. And so their main goal is making it as interesting and engaging as possible to all of their users, because that becomes more valuable to them, because then they can sell ads and do all these other things. So for them, the more interesting, the more engaging, the more original the content that you can do, the better. Reels are now the big thing, right?
Okay, that was a good point. I was gonna say, what's best? Reels, pictures, so reels.
Yeah, they love reels. They're moving to reels. They're not super, on images anymore. Now, even if you saw like your posts, they turned the posts kind of into reel, and now they kind of work with Facebook and they sort of interlace and all that. But yeah, reels are really important, and remixing reels. Like, you can remix reels and you can have them side by side, or you can reuse the audio. That seems to be really powerful as far as like getting it out there more, and then posting consistently. You don't want to have an account that posts 2 or 3 things like, in one day and then nothing for a week. So you want to show that you're consistent, that you're entertaining, that you're creating new content, that you're reusing stuff that's interesting to them, just playing by their rules.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you gotta be in the game to play the game and play by their rules and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like too how you take creative things from your day-to-day life and make it applicable to grow my cleaning company. So I think Cleaning Nation can totally do that. Like you mentioned your dog. I know recently you took a trip to California and you had the turkey. Yeah. There was a turkey post. Please look it up. But how did you apply? Yeah, tell us about the turkey post. That was great.
So yeah, my hometown apparently is overrun with wild turkeys now. That was not the case growing up, but now apparently they're everywhere and they do not care about cars or pedestrians. So I was just driving back to the place that we had rented for a few days, and there was this turkey, and it was just crossing the road, and it did not care that I was trying to drive my car. And I didn't want to be a jerk and like honk at it, but it was just unimpressed with this 2-ton vehicle coming at it. And I was just like, I have to video this. Like, this is, anything that you see that you'd be like, oh my gosh, I really want to share that with the people that I care about. That's great content. People love that. It's engaging, and it also gives them kind of insight into you, right? Because they're not just doing business with your company.
Okay.
They're doing business with you. And, you want to come across as authentic and likable and relatable. That's going to serve you really well, right? These people are letting you into their homes. They're letting you into their businesses. They're trusting you. So if they can get a sense of who you are and you are kind of this likable, relatable, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be likable. There are people like, Gary Vanderchuck or whatever who aren't necessarily likable, but they are engaging and they are interesting, and they feel like they can kind of, build that rapport with you. That's great. That's really good. That's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Okay. There's so many good, like you just keep bringing up so many good points and questions. And I just wanted to hit that. I don't know. See, I just remember the turkey because it was so funny. You remix audio for that too, I think. Yeah. So you had a personal experience that was kind of unusual combined with trending audio. So that's a good combination. So I feel like there's different little combinations you can make. Memes are always big. And back to the point about reels, just another random idea. I keep seeing the one where someone will be like, I heard that Instagram reels, like if you take a picture, I forget, it's like if you just have a picture as a free frame and use it as a reel, you'll still get more like.
They're like, Instagram doesn't like pictures anymore. Yeah. So I'm making a reel of a picture because I'm a rebel or something to that effect.
And it always gets a ton of views. I see so many different versions of that. So you can be super creative and really not do anything like that hard is what I'm seeing. Like people think too hard about social media. Okay, another question I had, you said consistency. Mm-hmm. So is there like any rule of thumb right now that you know of that the algorithms like to see? Like, is it every day? Is it every other day? Does it really matter as long as it's consistent?
Honestly, I don't know specifics like about that. I'm sure it's Googleable, but again, they change things all the time. So it's like once you get one rule, they're like, we're scrap that and we're just doing everything else. So, but I would say that, I try to post every day except for on Sundays because that's my day off. But I think just every day is something that's really consistent because, again, it's also wanting to stay fresh in the people's minds that are following you.
Right.
And if you're just posting once a week, the likelihood of somebody seeing that, is low because people check their phones, I don't know, hourly now. What's like the going rate?
I'm afraid to even know this fact. Like I kind of don't want to know, but we'll just say hourly. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty, I get like that screen report on my phone and I don't even want to look at it because I'm just like, this is terrible. Like I am a complete addict.
But it's part of your job.
Right. It is. So that's how I validate it. But yeah, people are constantly scrolling and their screen is constantly refreshing. So if you post once a week, the likelihood of them ever seeing that is super low.
Okay.
So if you're posting once or twice a day, the likelihood of them actually scrolling and seeing your image or following you or liking your image, and then seeing subsequent posts and having that multiple contact with your prospective clients and your clients is huge. Another trick, and I don't know how helpful. This would be for cleaning because it's a little bit personal, but people love seeing images of themselves, right? Like I've seen whole businesses built like, way back when, before social media. And this kind of speaks to how old I am. I used to work in like the club scene in Scottsdale, and there were these magazines that really didn't do anything. I think they had a few ads in them, but all they did was they'd go out to like the clubs and they would take pictures of people at the clubs.
Okay.
And then they would issue that the next month. And those were always gone because people always wanted to see themselves in this magazine.
So
okay. If you can start posting stuff, I mean, with your client's permission, of course, and something that shows them in a good light. Don't do the befores with like the laundry and everything everywhere, but people want to see that, and they will share it with their friends or businesses, maybe more applicable, right? Like you've got like a really cool lobby and it's like all clean and it's efficient, or you put them in a good light and then you post it, they're going to be sharing that with other people. And the more you can get something that's interesting for people to share with other people, you can kind of grow your audience that way as well.
I was going to say, yeah, getting the community involved and tagging them so they can share it with other people. Yeah. We're doing a lot of that right now, or trying to at this event. Yeah. What was I going to say? What about, so one thing that you do that I really like, and I don't know if Cleaning Nation, we coach them out there, like podcasts, how you can use that as a magnet. Mm-hmm. I like how you do post links to content that we create, like the podcast. What's the best way right now? Again, let's just talk Instagram, of how to share content, like offerings for your clients. Like, is there, I guess, better question, let me rephrase this. Is it good to direct people to content or a website from Instagram?
So that's a really good question. So it really just depends on like your goal. And Instagram is a little bit finicky about links. Okay. So like in Facebook, you can post a podcast that you do and then a link directly under it. Like, what a concept. But with Instagram, they're like, no links for whatever reason in a post. Yeah. They do not want links. And it's frustrating because you can't even do it in a comment. And so I'll post for our podcast, but I'll have to say the link is in the bio and then use like a link tree thing because it won't click. And it's super annoying. And I'm sure at some point they'll figure it out, but they don't allow you to put links in. So when you do the post, with content or whatever, you'll have to put like a link in a bio or have like an actual like, your company name / podcast or whatever. Okay. However, right, if you share that post to your stories, now you can put a link in. So they're like, we do allow links in the stories, but not in the posts. And I don't know why. A lot of social media is beyond me, and I'm sure there's a reason. But if you want to show your story with a link, that you can absolutely do.
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay. Because I'm like, I know I've clicked on stuff and then suddenly I'm like on someone's website and I know like their whole backstory and I'm like, how did I get here?
Right. It's all very sneaky.
Yeah, very sneaky. It's interesting because I feel like I know that Instagram wants you to stay in Instagram once you're there. So you can kind of browse the web, but you're in their world still, like a browser within it, I guess.
They're like a casino. There's no clocks. You don't know where the exit is. And you will be socially, financially, and morally corrupt by the time you're done.
That's exactly it. But as a cleaning business owner, you can make that work to your advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's kind of evil, but you're making the best use of what is social media, I guess.
It's like a necessary evil.
Yeah. And I feel like Instagram's a good hit because I feel like all ages are on there too. Yeah. Like Facebook's a little bit of an older crowd, but
it's turning into the LinkedIn, which is interesting.
It's LinkedIn.
I know, right? Like, it's like a rotary phone.
I thought you were going to say Rotary Club, like the old school, like.
Facebook's going to have like an actual physical book version come out.
Oh, like, God. Right. I remember it was for college only. I don't know if that really dates me, but once my mom got on Facebook, I was like, it's over.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry,
it's
Mom.
Still huge. it's still there. As long as you don't call it the Facebook, I think you're still good.
Yeah. And I think too, speaking of stuff that's gone the way of the dinosaurs, like MySpace and whatever, Facebook's going that way. How do you know, this is my last question, how do you know when to kind of get on the bandwagon of new social media? What's like the test?
That's a good question. I mean, that's a really good question. I don't know. Like, I feel like
it's hard to pick them, right?
It is. It is hard to pick them. It's really where your clients are at. That's the, like it's a cost time, equilibrium. Like, for example, TikTok. TikTok is really popular. It's wildly popular, but I don't know how many cleaners or cleaning companies are on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is like 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, maybe we could start, like prompting people. We could start like
ingraining it into them.
Ingraining it. I was gonna say groom, but I feel like that has a lot of negative connotations.
Yeah, we just got like flagged somewhere.
Right. So I think it's really where your clients are congregating and spending the majority of their time. So if your clients are older, then Facebook is probably your best bet. If they are kind of like the 20s to 30s and they're kind of more techie and into it, then yeah, Instagram is definitely a great place. I'm sure there'll be another platform that comes up in the next 2-3 years. That's just kind of how it works. But wherever your prospective clients are congregating, that's where you want to be. So new technology is great. I mean, I know that for a second there was like Snapchat that was kind of starting to rise, but then it really just didn't take off like we thought it would within like, the entrepreneurial aspect. And maybe it has, but I don't see it for us.
Yeah, it seems like anything that Facebook like takes over, like Meta as it's now called, like they took over Instagram, and it's kind of like a channel almost to quash the competition. Because like Snapchat used to be Snapchat, Instagram got the filters. Now they're kind of like head to toe with TikTok. So I guess you could just ask your clients like, oh, do you have an Instagram? And they'll be like, no, I don't use that. I use TikTok. And if you hear that enough, maybe that's kind of where, I don't know. So
this is why we have Lindsay, right? She's like, just ask them. Like,
I am the client happiness manager. I ask a lot of questions.
Like, I'll just figure it out. And she's like, how about you just ask them? Like,
no,
this is why I have blonde hair. So.
I have blonde hair under here somewhere.
Artificial intelligence over here, but it's working for her.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of the chaos of the live event. We're so excited to be here. We're in Orlando. We could have got a more scenic place, but it was nice and quiet in here. But there's palm trees and pools and ponds, and it's awesome.
I will be doing video later and posting it, probably before this. So retroactive. It's like a full-time work thing. It'll be fine.
So Natalie, where can people find us on Instagram?
We are at Grow My Cleaning Company on Instagram. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty easy to remember.
Yeah, easy to remember. Follow us there. I post all sorts of fun, ridiculous, and interesting things. Love interacting with you guys. Leave your comments and posts. Be nice.
Be nice.
We already have like lots of negativity in this world. We're just trying to like make people happy and interested, engaged. So just like my mom said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
But what you can say is if you listen to this podcast and you liked it, go on one of the posts, any post, and just say, hey, saw your podcast about social media, and we'll get all meta, so to speak.
Absolutely. And we like interacting with you guys.
Do.
If you've got some great ideas and want us to do it, like, let me know. Like, we're game. Like, we did the tortilla challenge. We'll slap each other in the face with a tortilla.
Jared, our tech guy, slapped one of his children with a tortilla. So go find that in our feed.
Follow us for parenting tips.
And that's the best way I can possibly close out this episode. Thanks again, Natalie. And we'll see you next time, Cleaning Nation.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, here we are, the end of the podcast, and you made it. Great job. I've got a little bonus for you for sticking through with me, but like I mentioned before, if you got value out of this podcast and you want to show a little love, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to this thing. Share with a friend, share the love. And as a special thank you for those of you that stuck with me to the end, how about I give you my personal phone number so we can text? It's a great way for me to get to know you, your business, your goals personally. So shoot me a text now, 602-932-6431. 602-932-6431. I am the only one who responds to these texts, and I will personally respond to everyone I possibly can as long as this number is manned. Don't know how long we're going to keep this at the end of the podcast, so grab it now. 602-932-6431. Give me a text, say hey, can't wait to meet you.